What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be answering some of your questions, and honestly, there's some good ones in here. Without any further ado, let's get it started. Here we go. So on my Instagram and also on YouTube, I asked you guys to honestly ask me anything about collecting, YouTube, whatever it may be. I'm going to try and, cover various topics in this video. So I guess with that being said, guys, let's get into question number one. This one coming in from Logan.Severs. Hopefully I said your name right. What's your favorite Simpsons Funko Pop? That is honestly a tough one because I have pretty much every Simpsons Pop. I mean, I obviously love the original ones that they came out with like a long time ago. You can see some of them in the background right here. And I would say a majority of the Simpsons Pops that I have, I like, but there's a couple that I think are really cool. First one, guys, this one's out of box, but it is a Homer on the couch, the moment. It also kind of reminds me of the intro of the show as well, so that is definitely one of my favorites. I love when they make like side characters of different shows and things of Funko Pops, and Poochie is no exception to that. I mean, I think he was in a total of maybe like 2 or 3 episodes, maybe it was just 2, and I think this pop turned out awesome. Looks like Poochie 2T has got his guitar with the amp as well, so I don't know, as far as like things that I can just think of off the top of my head, I think these have some fun detail to them, and they're probably some of my favorites.
Hey kids, always recycle. To the extreme!
Blame It on Blaine wants to know, what characters do I think are overdue for Funko Pops? I mean, honestly, there's a lot of them out there. As far as like in the realm of things that I collect, I mean, obviously we're just on the topic of Simpsons. There's a handful of Simpsons characters that I think would make great Funko Pops. I'm talking like Pooh would be an awesome one. The three-eyed fish, Blinky, I think is his name, would be another great Funko Pop idea. I mean, Lenny and Carl would even make a good 2-pack, so maybe that's some of the Simpsons ones I'd like to see. Obviously, there's other like cartoon characters that I could think of, like from SpongeBob. There's a couple of different SpongeBob characters that don't have pops, like the Flying Dutchman would be really cool. And then there's obviously the licenses that Funko has not made, and I think Nintendo is probably the biggest one. All the different Mario characters, Donkey Kong, Zelda, you name it, any of those would make great pops, and I think people have been asking for those for the longest time. Aiden Sabers Jensen, I'm curious what your top 5 MLB players of all time look like. My list, much love from LA. I think I might try and do this in Funko Pop form. Some of my favorites, at least that I know that I have pops of, and I feel like that they would fulfill the top 5, MLB players of all time. I think Jackie Robinson kind of fits in there. Obviously, he was a great baseball player, but he was a great person as well, and there was a lot of awesome things that happened because of what he did. So I think you got to include him in the top 5, maybe. I think Babe Ruth is a solid choice, guys. The great Bambino, with all the home run records that he had. He definitely would be in the top 5. I don't know, Ken Griffey Jr. might be somewhere in there. I don't know, maybe in a top 10. I would say maybe not a top 5, but kind of considering Funko Pop wise, we might throw him in there. Hamilton, the Babe Porter, definitely. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just having a little bit of fun with you. Mr. Woo for You 5 wants to know, what's one celebrity you would like to meet and get your pop signed? So actually there's a couple of different ones that come to mind. I have some of the Sandlot pop signed from, obviously the movie Sandlot. And there's a couple that I am missing. It's Squints and also Benny the Jet Rodriguez. I know Squints is a little bit more public facing than Benny, so I think that one would be easier to get signed. But I think getting the whole cast of all the Sandlot pops that are out there signed would be awesome. Also, I think it'd be really cool to meet the voice actor of SpongeBob, Tom Kenny, and get a SpongeBob pop signed by him. I think that would be awesome. And those are the first 2 that at least come to mind for me. Hey_Hunter asked, favorite pops that are coming soon or that have been teased? There's a couple that I'm thinking of. I think there's some new Simpsons pops that are coming out here pretty soon. Actually, they might even be in stores already. They're mostly of characters that already exist, but some of the molds are pretty fun on those. I think the Land Before Time pops that are coming out here pretty soon are pretty awesome. I remember watching those movies as a kid, so that would definitely be something that I'm pretty excited about. I want to say that there's some new Scooby-Doo pops that are on the way. It's got like Shaggy and Scooby with like the 3D glasses and with some popcorn. I think those look fun. And then I swear I saw somewhere that there's some new Bob's Burgers pops along the way, and they were new characters, and I can't remember where I saw that list, but either way, I'm excited for more Bob's Burgers pops. Interesting question from William Boog 4124. What is your most expensive pop that you regret buying? I don't know. Honestly, I don't really regret any of the things that I bought that were pricey, but I think there's one thing that comes to mind that is a little bit more logical than some of the others. So the one that comes to mind, guys, when this came out a couple of years ago at San Diego Comic-Con, we have the Fairly Odd Parents 3-pack. I paid a pretty penny for the actual con sticker of this, and like looking back at that, I think I spent, it was close to 300 bucks. It might even have been more than that. But looking back, I think easily available, you could have gotten the shared sticker for, you know, a fraction of that price. So I don't know, looking back, I mean, did I really need the con sticker? No, I think I got a little, you know, FOMO perhaps. But that is probably one of the ones that come to mind because I could have gotten it for a lot cheaper if I didn't care about the sticker that's on the front. And looking back, you know, I probably should have done it that way. Because honestly, the Funko Pops inside of the box are the exact same. Do I ever plan on selling these 3? Not anytime soon, so I think it didn't matter. Okay, a couple of questions that are kind of related. This one from Matthew said, when did you start collecting Pops? And then Parker said, when did you start collecting Pops or anything in general, and why did you start collecting? For me, always growing up, I've always loved collecting various things, whether it be like enamel pins that you put on a pin board. I've collected sports cards throughout the day, Pez dispensers, Hot Wheel cars. Even back in the day, guys, when they had like the little state quarters that you could put in like the board with all the different states and everything like that, I collected those. So I mean, that love of collecting has always been there, but something kind of interesting as well, I've always had a love for video. And I know this is kind of off topic a little bit, guys, but the other day I was looking and I saw that I am celebrating my 8-year anniversary on YouTube, which is absolutely wild. And it kind of combines two of the things that I really love, making videos and obviously collecting. And I think that's probably why I've done it for so long. But thinking back to, you know, when I started this channel, guys, on my collecting journey, did I think, you know, I'd be where I am now? Absolutely not. But by any means, I'm not like any huge YouTuber by any means or whatever, but I've had a lot of really cool opportunities, been able to do a lot of fun things. And so I guess in that sense, looking back, I don't think I would have ever expected that that would have happened. But as far as for me, I feel like I've always really been passionate about collecting. Funko obviously kind of filled that void of all the different things that I like, IPs, genres, characters. Kind of to wrap that up, I just want to say thank you, because I think collecting is also about community, and I think Funko kind of, I naturally gravitated towards that because there's an awesome community with it as well. But I guess here's to 8 more years on YouTube. We'll see what happens 8 years down the road. Sharabesh_03, have you ever gotten bored of Funko Pops? I think honestly there's fatigue in anything that you do. So absolutely, there's been moments that I've been bored of collecting. I feel like Funko, you know, but draws me back in with some of the new characters that they make or different variations of things. And so there's always like times or lulls, you know, where I feel like I don't want to collect anymore. But then there's like exciting events that happen, new things that come out and things like that. Or for me, I mean, I love making videos, and when I come across cool finds and stuff at garage sales and thrift stores, I think that's what makes it a little bit more exciting and adds a little bit more variety for me. But yes, to answer your question, it does happen from time to time. Marky Mamark wants to see all of my Iron Man Pops. Okay, hold on one second.
A few moments later.
Okay, you ready? Here are all of them right here. I don't own any Iron Man Pops.
Nice work, guys.
Rebecca wants to know, what's the hardest pop that you've had to track down? Honestly, it might be something from the Complete My Collection Challenge series. So for me, I think probably one of the hardest pops that it took for me to track down would either be the Squidward right here. I feel like, you know, there's times that I've seen it here and there, but it's always been in bad condition. But at least for this challenge series, I came across it in a really good condition. I had the funds for it, so I thought might as well buy it. So that took me a little bit to find. I think any of the Muppets Pops are really hard to find as well. I think it helps though that the people are watching these videos, and people that are collectors obviously are like, hey, I have this Swedish Chef. Do you want it? That kind of thing. So I don't know. I think at least probably the hardest ones for the series would be like Squidward and Swedish Chef. And kind of going off of that, Cannon Broderick says, any pops you saw warm the shelves you regret not having now? Absolutely. There's tons of pops that are on my list for the challenge. Like I'm thinking some of the Cars pops, like Lightning McQueen, I saw a bunch. Talking Ratatouille as well. I remember seeing those on the shelves quite a bit. And looking at my list right now, guys, I'm trying to see if there's really anything else. Most of these things are definitely a little bit older, and I don't think I ever saw any of these on shelves, but that would probably be at least a couple that come to mind that I remember seeing at least. Fun Sniped wants to know, how many limited Funko Pops do I have? Actually quite a bit. As far as limited Funko Pops, guys, I've got them pretty much littered everywhere. If we're starting on the shelf, a lot of these serial ad icons are limited, like Tony the Tiger, Fruit Brute, Yummy Mummy. I'm trying to think, a couple Looney Tunes right here. 2,000 piece Daffy Duck, Speedy Gonzales, Pete Puma limited to 1,000. I mean, any of the NFTs, guys, are going to be limited as well. I have all of the Scooby-Doo ones down here, so all of those are limited pieced. And, you know, I have another little shelf that's dedicated all to the Pop Digital stuff. More Looney Tunes that are limited. I'm trying to think. I think this Ken Griffey Jr., even though it doesn't state on the sticker, I want to say it was like limited to like 1,800 or something. It was the common one for that giveaway game. But I think I've got a couple more back here, more Pop Digital stuff, even more all the Freddies back here are limited as well. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that I do have a couple of limited pops. Sunio Sheesh wants to know, you got any robots? I'm assuming you mean robot Funko Pops. I think I have a couple. One of the first robots that I can think of, guys, that comes to mind is obviously Bending Rodriguez. You can't go wrong with him. Probably one of the most iconic, you know, cartoon robots, I would say. And speaking of that, guys, I brought over his Chase counterpart where he's got a beer in hand and he's belching fire. I can't think of Bender any other way. Obviously, we've got the original one down there, but this one is just as good. I think this is a pretty good one, guys. We have Clank from Ratchet and Clank. Definitely a good counterpart to Ratchet, and he's a pretty solid robot as well. Then one that I had to open up the closet for right here, guys, we have Roz with Fink and Bright Bill from the Wild Robot. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. It was one of my favorite animated movies from last year. It is really good. And I guess while we're in here, guys, does Evil Emperor Zurg count? Is he a robot? I guess kinda. If you've seen the Lightyear movie, you know that not quite, but maybe I'm considering this one a robot. And well, folks, hopefully I've done your questions justice. Obviously, there was a lot more that I didn't cover, and that's probably what upcoming videos are for. But let me know down in the comment section below what other things that you want, you know, let me know in the comment section below what other things you want me to cover in upcoming videos, other questions you might have. Also, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos like this one here. Thank you guys so much for watching again. You guys are awesome and the best. Like always, remember to be kind of one another. Always promote positivity. I will see you in the next video. Catch you guys later.